So today we are heading to the Low Isles, Low Island. It's going to be around a 6-hour sail, so we should be arriving at around 5 p.m. tonight, so just on dusk. Oh, thanks, Captain.
George has got it.
George? Who's George?
The autopilot.
You've called the autopilot George.
No, I didn't name it George. It's just called George.
Turns out John wasn't making this up. The UK's Royal Air Force coined the term during World War II because the planes were owned by King George. So we're currently in Cairns, but for the last 3 months we've been navigating our way north here to the Great Barrier Reef. But these next few days, they're going to be our most challenging yet. We're going to be stopping at Low Island and then Cooktown before we make the treacherous sail to an island dubbed the Aussie Maldives. We are hoping to get to Lizard Island, but it's another 24 hours north. We've heard the coral there is like an aquarium. We just need to make sure that we can get there. The lack of northerlies is the major concern, so
yeah, not getting back is the problem. How long might you be there?
Here in Australia and the Pacific, our climate is heavily impacted by its surrounding oceans, and one of the strongest climate drivers is called the El Nino Southern Oscillation. We're currently in a La Nina cycle, so we're experiencing warmer waters, unpredictable weather, and stronger trade winds. In contrast, when El Nino comes back around, we'll see more droughts, heat waves, and fewer cyclones here in Australia. We just heard that there's this couple that have been stuck out there for 3 weeks and haven't been able to get back. The problem with that is that there aren't any supermarkets on the island.
I think there's a pub.
There's a pub?
Oh yeah, we're in the shuttle. Sorry.
No speed indication.
All out there.
So we don't have a speed reader at the moment. And that's another side effect of these warmer waters, marine growth on our speed transducer, which is located on the hull beneath the V-berth. It's getting clogged up more frequently up here.
I'm gonna pull out the...
Again?
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just, see it slowly coming to life.
Oh, good.
Sometimes it just shows that just...
I think the waters are just a lot more warmer here, hey? Oh no! My sock just got all wet from the bottom of the fender. Well, Takana looks like she's a mess at the moment. We're actually pretty organised. We are so geared up for the remoteness we're about to experience.
New transmission oil, new clean exhaust elbow, new oil filters, new fuel filters, new everything. New air filter.
How much did that cost us?
$280.
And how much would have it cost us if we got it done professionally?
$800 or so, roughly.
Done. After all that work, every minute on the engine now counts.
Engine's running,
okay.
costing money. Let's get the head sail out.
Okay.
There's a Navy ship coming right for us, so...
Oh, really? Okay.
Heading towards the edge of the channel.
Okay. Wow, there is a warship coming towards us. Does it come up on our AIS?
Yeah. HMAS Wollongong.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Oh my God, John, we're about to get KO'd. Holy shit. Oh. Did they wave to you?
Yeah.
Did they?
I think they're waving at you.
So as you can see, we're going quite a way up through the channel because these waters over to the left hand side are only like 2 to 3 meters. It's so shallow. Hard to believe. It's very inconspicuous. So John loves his coffees. The only problem is that we think he has a bit of an addiction because he hasn't been having coffee the last few days and he's been getting these really terrible headaches.
God damn, Jimmy. This some serious gourmet shit.
So I'm just quickly fueling his addiction and making him a coffee. Yeah, we're out in the sun today. John's just saying 20 knots out there at the moment. What speed are we doing?
7.2.
We're doing 7.2 knots, just with the heady. So we'll just chuck this coffee on for him and hopefully he starts to feel a little better soon. Here you go. How's your headache? Have you still got it?
Yeah.
Really? No, but honestly, I wonder if other people get headaches if they don't drink their morning coffee. Is that a thing?
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's a thing.
Yeah, maybe. The amount of coffee I drink, I think it probably is.
So the region we're sailing in right now is called Far North Queensland. It may not look that big on the map, but it has the same area as, say, Japan or Norway. The only difference is the population in Far North Queensland is just 30,000 people. So we can't rely on the help from others. We're going to have to be pretty self-sufficient.
Yeah, so we did a lot in Cairns.
We did so much in Cairns. You did the engine service?
Yeah, which is not that straightforward because you've got to order all the parts in, wait for the parts to arrive, and you've got to find out what parts you need, ring around and order new parts for the toilet, completely recondition the whole toilet.
Yeah.
Like new motor,
Yeah.
blades, seals, valves, everything.
Refilled the gas. I've got the gas and John's got beer.
I also bought a new mackerel line, new lure.
What is that?
Need the right gear. An issue with the freezer again, one of the lines frosting up, so we've got some insulation for that.
$1.75. That is the cheapest piece of material I think we have ever purchased for the boat.
Oh, I put in the saltwater tap, troubleshooted the deck wash pump, it stopped working, just a pressure switch.
I did a big shop. The fridges are full, that takes like 3 hours. I'm going to try the online shopping thing. So someone that we met just gets all their shopping delivered straight to the marina with one of the major shopping outlets here in Australia. So we did a lot.
They delivered it right down the wharf. They had like a little trolley, and they literally took it down the marina through the boom gate. They loaded it up and wheeled it all the way down and dropped it off right at their boat. And someone said that they even order woolies online while they're sailing, and they just anchor off a beach and have it delivered to the beach, and they just tender in and pick it up off the sand.
Amazing, hey.
That's crazy good.
I got a new passport with pink hair, and the passport's gonna last 10 years. Another thing we have to talk about is Ningaloo. That yacht is amazing. I did try and get us a little tour on board, but I was rejected.
That mast was so big, had to have a light on it, like a red light. Tall buildings and mountains and stuff have on it for aircraft. That's how tall it was. Crazy.
So crazy.
Little red beacon.
So we had read that you could rent it out for $88,000 a week, but turns out you can't. It's not up for charter.
Maybe you could at one point. How's that? Swap to Takana and you get 4 weeks on there. Would you do it?
No way.
4 weeks?
No way. This is like an infinite amount of possibilities on Takana.
Going around the corner here and
wow. Bit of a gloomy day though, hey? Oh, there definitely won't be a mooring around. I'm gonna put all 15 meters of chain out.
last time I went.
I know. It's freezing.
Your rain showers about, I think, dropping the temperature a bit.
I wonder what the temperature actually is. It's probably still like 25 degrees.
Try and sail as far as we can.
We ended up spotting a mooring in the distance. We just had to make sure that it was the right rating for our boat. If it is okay for us to take this mooring.
Green, blue and red are what we can have in that order.
We got lucky, it was green. And look at all the boats in the bay.
Good timing. It's about to bucket down.
Oh my god, it is too. I cannot believe we got a mooring. And it's just started to rain. Can we just take a moment to actually celebrate? Oh, goodness. All right, instruments are off.
know.
And when we arrive, it starts raining, and we hardly use the engine. Today was a good day. The only bad thing is now I've got all this washing up to do.
Oh, I'll do it.
And we're going to do that in a second too. We got organised, watched what was left of the sunset, and then got an early night. Before we were woken up by the most bizarrest sound. John and I just heard a massive ding, like, weird, hey?
I thought it was like this sort of sound.
It actually did sound exactly like that.
There's something up on the bow. I don't know what that is.
And we didn't know what they were.
The birds kept going. Walk up to them. They'll be right.
Aww. They're very friendly. So it was about 2 a.m. and I rolled over in bed and John's not there. And so I yell out to him and he's awake looking at his phone trying to work out if we should depart or not at 2 a.m. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
I'll see you at like 6.
Well, just wake me up whenever. I'll probably hear you fiddling with the sails.
I'll put my life jacket on and just listen to a podcast.
Okay. Why did you decide to leave? And how was the sail?
Well, it was a little tricky sleeping, so I figured I might as well be sailing. It looked like a really nice night. Like, it looked like a perfect night for sailing. It was pretty flat. The moon was out. It was overcast, but you could still see the horizon. It was only about 10 knots, basically, and it was dead run. It was right behind us the whole time, which is kind of an awkward point of sail.
It was very awkward. I could just hear you tacking constantly, that heady.
I couldn't get the boat settled. It was just constant adjusting the track.
And to be fair, even though we were lucky to get that mooring ball, it was pretty rolly, hey? How was the sunrise?
The sunrise was okay. It was a red sky and just see the sun through the clouds. And then it disappeared, not to be seen again for the remainder of the day thus far.
Our poor solar panels, hey?
Yeah, how are the batteries going, by the way?
Not very good. I think they're about 65%.
We might have to run the engine.
So we're on our way to Cooktown. This will be our last stop before we sail to Lizard Island. So there is quite a bit of history in these waters. Back in 1770, Captain Cook was exploring.
They just passed Cape Tribulation and they saw Hope Island on the horizon and recognised it as a hazard. So they turned to what they thought was safe water offshore. As they went offshore, the depth started getting deeper and they relaxed and they sent the crew to bed. And then shortly after that, it went from deep to nothing. The reef they hit later became known as Endeavour Reef.
Named after their boat.
Apparently they dumped the kedge anchor, which is a secondary anchor, and all the cannons and everything to make themselves light enough to refloat themselves, and then they had to get themselves up the coast to Cooktown. There was nothing there at the time. They just saw the river and they went in and they beached it up the river. Endeavour River, I think, is also it's called.
After the boat.
After the boat. And then they stayed there for a long time.
6 weeks, wasn't it?
Apparently it was the longest time that Englishmen had ever spent ashore in Australia. The other thing to note about Cooktown is that it's the last settlement between Cape York, like the tip of Cape York, Thursday Island. There's nothing that you can't get fuel or supplies or anything.
Wow.
That's all I know. Yeah, that's it.
It is very windy. Oh my god. Nothing's good. Tighten it up here. And as we entered Endeavour River, we quickly worked out that there wasn't much room for us to anchor up. Not only was it shallow, but it was also overcrowded. See, there's like, it looks like a crab pot there, potentially crab pot just there. I don't know if there's enough swing room. Like, how much has that guy? You might have quite a bit of anchor out. So unfortunately, there was just no way that we were going to be able to stay here. At one point, our depth reached 10 centimetres. Oh my god, John. Or 4 inches. Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, we can't stay here.
So we've just found another anchorage just around the corner, Cape Bedford. Hold on.
You got any life jacket on?
No, I don't. I need to go and get it on.
Okay.
And as we sailed north, others were coming back down south. For some who'd been stuck in Lizard Island for weeks, these were the best conditions they'd seen in a long time.
We're going to be sleeping in this port berth tonight because it's quieter. At the front, it sounds a bit like a freight train. And tomorrow we'll make our way to Lizard Island. It's about a 6-hour sail from here. We haven't really talked about what time we'll be leaving tomorrow. It's really interesting to see all the boats going past us, just beating into it. It looked terrible, so fingers crossed in a week's time from now the weather gods are kind to us.
Especially because our cockpit isn't enclosed.
Look how protected they are in there. When it comes time for us, I'm going to be standing on the back here just like for like 30 hours or something.
It's gonna be so terrible.
Join us next week for the sail of our lives.
It is going to be our very last sail north.
Well, unless we just keep going.
Just keep going to Indonesia.
Now that's a very good idea. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button and a huge thank you to our patrons.